The New Order, or TNO, is a Hearts of Iron 4 mod that basically everyone who plays Hoi 4 knows about. It is constantly praised as one of the best mods ever made, held up for its atmosphere, its writing and its world building. And to be fair, at one point it earned that reputation. TNO used to be a mod that understood something about Hoi 4 most mods don't. Vibes matter more than spreadsheets. At its core, TNO was interesting because it was insane. It leaned into the horror of an Axis victory, not by making everything realistic, but by making it memorable. That's why people played it. So how did we get here? If you spent more than 5 minutes in the Hoi 4 modding scene, you've seen this play out before. Every single major mod eventually fractures into two camps. On one side, you have people who want to preserve what already works, expand on the lore, refine the mechanics, and build outward. Those are the conservatives. On the other side, you have the revisionists, people who are physically incapable of leaving anything alone. Everything must be reworked, everything must be justified, everything must be plausible. TNO didn't just drift towards the revisionists, it got captured by them. Since Atlantropa was axed, the mod has been stuck in a death spiral of endless reworks, each one defended harder than the last. The Discord, the dev team, and the hardcore defenders all marched together, aggressively insisting that this time, the rework is totally necessary actually. Here's where it gets really ugly. Criticism of TNO's revisionism isn't rare. It's not niche. It's not a few salty Reddit users whining because their favorite path got removed. It's everywhere. Subreddits, Twitter, YouTube, pick your platform, you'll find mass criticism of it. A YouTuber like Lordad can drop a critique pulling nearly 100,000 views and the comments are overwhelmingly in agreement. That should be a massive red flag. Instead, the TNO response is the same every time: deny, deflect, and purge. Anyone who criticizes the direction of the mod gets dismissed as reactionary, toxic, or not understanding the vision. Discord bans fly everywhere, threads get locked, and suddenly the only people left talking are the ones who already agree. Congratulations, you've built a perfect echo chamber. And no, it's our mod, we can do whatever we want is not a defense anymore. It's an admission that you don't care about your community. Then there's this obsession of always needing to be right. The revisionists don't care about fun, they care about being correct. Something isn't plausible enough, rework it. Still not plausible, rework it again. People liked the old version? Too bad, it was problematic. This is why TNO keeps eating itself. Nobody plays TNO for the balanced combat. Nobody boots it up to mire the AI. People play TNO because it was basically a narrative-driven psychological horror masquerading as a Hearts of Iron 4 mod. They wanted to roleplay as a deranged Russian warlord, a collapsing empire, or an ideological nightmare. But apparently, that's not fun anymore. Now everything has to be toned down, justified, sanitized, and moralized. The result? A mod that's technically more correct and infinitely less interesting. If the devs genuinely believed that an Antarctic Chilean territory update is what people are excited for, then I don't know what mod they think they're developing, but it's not the one people fell in love with. This is the part that really kills TNO. They remove content constantly. Burgundy, Atlantropa, the German Civil War, even Aiden George, all gone. Huge chunks of Africa, gone. Entire nation-defining storylines, gone. And what do we get in return? Nothing. Or worse, content that feels like it exists solely to justify a political or academic argument rather than to be enjoyable. Compare this to Kaiserreich. Kaiserreich reworks things all the time, but nobody riots. Why? Because when Kaiserreich removes content, it replaces it with something better. deeper mechanics, stronger narratives, more player agency. TNO removes iconic defining features and replaces them with updates that feel like filler. When your mod cuts major pillars and hands plays Antarctic microstates as compensation, you've lost the plot. Now, to make sure my opinions weren't me just screaming into the void and parroting whatever came off Reddit, I decided to go into the TNO Discord community directly and get an interview with some good staunch community members. Opinion. What is the biggest problem with TNO's revisionism that has come in with all the reworks and stuff? Could you tell us about that?
I mean, if I were to give my opinion, like, the TNO devs, like, is always focused on, like, making new content, sure, but they also go way too deep into, like, trying to, like, fix old content, for example. Like, I think in the case of, like, Germany, for example, like, Germany's content is probably the best out of the three superpowers, in my opinion. Like, it has by far the most content, the most variety. Well, not the most variety. I think that goes to, like, America. But, like, still, it is good content. But by revising it, they're continuously trying to, like, hinder every other project. Like, for example, France content has been stalling out for possibly years, but because Germany keeps on changing, like, the vision for Germany, France also gets hurt. Like, there was supposed to be a complete red in the Civil War. There was supposed to be, like, red Germany path, red France path, and, like, they gave it, like, placeholder stuff, and they gave in the dev build. But because Germany's now able to, like, intervene and, like, end red Germany, red France, he basically just got rid of, like, years of progress. Like, it's stuff like that I don't like. They do stuff for no reason, and they don't consider other projects.
How often would you say that the TNO team, when they rework something, they make up for it by putting, content to replace it, and either better content or even just content in general?
I would say not as much, but they definitely have use, like, reworking and then, like, do completely stall out all other progresses. Oh, and also I sent you the video of what I meant by, like, Red France, for example. Like, yeah, that's a leaked dev build.
Saying that this rework is affecting content that has been in progress for years?
Oh, yeah. And plus, it's likely that the entire content is just gonna get scrapped. Like, that entire tree is gonna get scrapped, because
I mean,
France is, like, now going to be intervened on by Germany, from what I know.
TNO is no longer just a mod with a controversial direction. It is a textbook example of what happens when unchecked revisionist ideology takes over a project. Endless reworks, endless moral ground standing, zero tolerance for criticism, a community hollowed out until only loyalists remain. And here's the brutal truth. The TNO team as it currently is can do whatever they want with their mod. It sucks. People can hate it. It can lose its credibility and become a laughingstock. And these videos, Reddit threads, Twitter feeds, they aren't going to change anything. But let this be a warning to every other Hoi4 mod out there. I've seen and been part of developer teams that have stalled and eventually died out, and now that TNO hasn't made quality content for 3 years, I think it's likely that we won't see another update from the team. Reworks are fine, balance is fine, plausibility is fine, but when revisionists gain total control, they don't improve mods, they strangle them. And TNO is living proof of that.